Hi, my name is Clayton, and about 3 weeks ago, I had a nephrectomy to donate my left kidney to a stranger. Hopefully, my story encourages some of you out there to donate yourself, or if you are already donating, it gives you an idea of what you might expect during the surgery and recovery. When I decided that I wanted to donate, I started getting asked the same question by everyone I told: why? When I was a kid, my great aunt Fern had kidney failure and she was on dialysis for several years. During this time, her memory started to become impaired. She wasn't able to travel. She wasn't able to really enjoy her life. But then she got a kidney donated from a deceased donor. And it was like the lights were back on in her life. All of a sudden, she could travel a little bit more and spend more time with her family. And mentally, her acuity came right back. She was able to live for over a decade after that in relative health and enjoy her life all the way till she was 90 years old. The idea that I could give someone else's Aunt Fern a chance at that was enough to get me to want to donate. My first step was registering with the National Kidney Registry as a potential donor. From there, I was matched with my transplant center at UC Irvine, and I underwent a lot of evaluation. The evaluation included a CAT scan, ECG, they did an ultrasound of my kidneys. They even had me do a 24-hour urine sample collection, so there was a day where I was just carrying around a jug of my own pee in a backpack with ice. Thank God no one asked what was in the backpack. I also had a psychological assessment. This assessment process took a few months, but once I was approved as a donor, I was matched with a recipient and I got my surgery date. From there, I went into prep mode, trying to get my body and mind right for surgery. My two main strategies to prepare for surgery physically were to stay very, very active, and in the days leading up to surgery, to drastically increase my fiber intake. I probably had like 200% the daily recommended fiber intake for maybe the week leading up to surgery. Because one of the main things donors complain about during recovery is constipation. And I really wanted to avoid that. Preparing mentally is a different ballgame and you're gonna have to find what works for you. Something that worked for me was really just visualizing my kidney leaving and that it's no longer mine. Just to prepare for the idea that something that has been intrinsic to me my entire life is going to be gone. Here is what a day in the life preparing for surgery looked like for me. Just getting the day started with my little coffee. For my breakfast this morning, I'm having a little bit of eggs and kale with some vegetables in there. You can't really see the eggs, but they're under there, trust me. This morning, I'm helping my neighbor out at her yoga studio, so I'm biking there right now. I've tried to get a decent amount of activity done every day, just to get my body as limber as possible before I basically can't move it for a couple weeks. I almost forgot I'm in the middle of eating a little snack, so I thought I'd show you guys. I've been eating some toast with peanut butter and honey on it. My wife and I went and picked up Chipotle for lunch, so you know, not eating that healthy for this meal, but whatever. I'll get it on the next one. I'll get back to my healthy ways. It's a Saturday today, so I don't have work, and so I'm spending a good chunk of the day just making a birthday present for my wife. We took a little trip to the Grand Tetons, so I'm making her a poster. I don't know how that looks on camera. Probably terrible. Having a little bit of an early dinner tonight because I have to go to a show, so I got my pasta and my broccoli. Got some garbanzo beans in there too, so it's just kind of a hodgepodge of leftovers for me. Back on the bike, biking to my show. I promise I do have a car. You've just caught me in a day where I'm doing a bunch of biking. I just got home from my show. Gonna make sure I have a decent amount of water before bed and then try to get my rest, keep my strength and my immune system going till surgery. Then came surgery day. I was obviously pretty nervous. I tried to convince myself that I wasn't. I was like, no, I'm actually doing fine. I'm very chill. And then they hooked me up to the heart monitor and my resting heart rate was like 90 beats a minute. So I was not chill, I was afraid, but I did some breathing exercises, calmed myself down, and I was ready to go. Here is a look at what surgery day was like for me. Obviously I didn't sleep awesome, so I ended up waking up at like 6 in the morning. So I have 4 hours to kill before I need to be at the hospital. I'm having just a little black coffee. They said that that's fine till 8 a.m. today, and then I have to cut off all liquids. So just water and coffee till then. I decided to go for a little jog just to, you know, do something because I'll feel all this energy, but I have nothing to do to prep for it. I just got done with my last shower before surgery using the pre-surgery soap that they gave me. It's special antibacterial stuff. So basically, I'm ready to go now. Just walking over to the main hospital building now to check in for surgery with my wife.
Hi.
Okay, I'm about to be wheeled into the OR. I will try to start recording again as soon as I'm awake enough to do so. After about a 5.5-hour surgery, I was wheeled into the recovery room and I started to wake up. I'm currently still in recovery and a little bit of nausea. I'm extremely high here, probably higher than I've ever been in my life. And while I'm saying I experienced a little bit of nausea, I did throw up. I don't remember it, but it happened. My wife tells me it happened. But overall, I'm sure what you're all wondering is, what's the pain like? And it's not crazy right now. They gave me, of course, the general anesthesia and then an anesthetic block in that region before I came to. So this limits the deeper pain in my abdomen. I feel basically like just someone slapped me really hard in the stomach. Fell asleep for a few hours, but then they woke me up to walk to the bathroom to pee, and because they're moving me to a real room. It's 3 a.m. and the pain block they gave me is starting to wear off. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. It kind of feels like there's a pressure cooker in my upper left abdomen. I'm up for the morning. The pain is very tolerable right now. I'm on Tylenol and probably still experiencing some of the nerve block that they put in my abdomen. I've been able to get up and walk around my room a little bit, which has been super nice. Pain very tolerable. I would say it rests at like a 2 or 3 if I'm staying still. If I move, it gets more painful, but nothing awful. I'm in here trying to poop. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, even with the stool softener. Okay, it took me a couple of hours of walking around, then sitting on the toilet, then getting up and walking around, then sitting back down on the toilet. But I was able to poop, so I've basically hit all the benchmarks I need to hit to be released from the hospital. Just starting the process of getting dressed and getting discharged. I'm still extremely bloated, but I'm feeling good. I was lucky to have a very short hospital stay. The standard stay at UC Irvine for someone donating a kidney is like 1 to 3 days. And I was discharged from the hospital about 20-ish hours after I got out of surgery. So I was very lucky in that regard. I can't say that every donor is gonna have as smooth of an experience in the hospital. But once I got home, that's when the real recovery started. Wow, sorry, this is terrible lighting. I'm home. It's the middle of the afternoon, but I am so exhausted. I have to take a nap. I just think I could sleep for the rest of my life. Got a very low grade fever in like the 99 to 100 range. So we're just gonna have to monitor that. I'm just gonna try to sleep it off. Stomach pain, probably when I'm laying down, at like a 2 out of 10. Getting up and down is really painful. That's probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10. When I'm just sitting still, pain pretty manageable. My shoulders definitely hurt, which I think is referred pain from my diaphragm. That's what my surgeon said. But I'm gonna put a hot pad on there and just ride it out. I just got up from my morning nap and I coughed myself awake, which was pretty painful because it turns out coughing is just using your ab muscles. So then I had to really quickly reach over and grab a pillow, press down while I coughed to hold everything in place. But it felt very good to sleep. I'm finding that I'll have like 45 good minutes of energy and then I just crash. I'm out for my nightly stroll before bed. Definitely feeling more discomfort from the gas. I think as some of it dissipates, what's left becomes smaller bubbles that I can feel more. And I can kind of feel it shifting around in there, which is really annoying. But I've been burping a lot of it out, which is good. My incision site pain, pretty manageable, but I am just very tired. Just woke up on day 3. I'm not in a lot of pain. My bloating has gone down a good amount. I'm definitely experiencing more discomfort at the incision site where they actually pulled out the kidney. When I pee, I can feel it at my incision site because it's right in front of my bladder. And as the tissue changes shape, as my bladder empties, it kind of stings a little bit. So that's uncomfortable, but that's one of the only pains I still have. I'm trying to do about a mile today just to get my body moving and hopefully get some of this gas dissolved. Oh, I can feel it rolling around in there. It really feels funky. I'm gonna take a little nap. My energy has just been so much better today. I think I was really able to rest last night, so I haven't had to nap quite so much today. Okay, I'm gonna try to record me getting into bed. This is one of the hardest parts of recovery. All the gas that kind of floats around in there, and you just can't contract your abs without it hurting. So you have to be so careful. Ugh, so careful. And this is rubbing on my surgery scar. Ugh, I'm gonna have to bleep this one a lot. Oh boy. So yeah, that took me, I'm not even all the way down yet. It starts to roll over. And it took me like 2 minutes. Okay. It's not necessarily super painful. It's just really, really uncomfortable. I don't know if that makes sense, but it feels like you have a balloon filled with air and it's floating around in your abdomen. And every time you rotate, it shifts. It's definitely getting annoying to have to be hunched over because I'm so bloated, and if I try to stand up straight, all the gas flows right under my diaphragm. At least that's how it feels, and it makes breathing so uncomfortable. So I basically, I have the posture of a 98-year-old man, but not in a lot of pain when I stand like this. Hopefully only a couple more days of this gas. My bloating is mostly gone, which is huge because that was the most uncomfortable thing. Now I just have some incision site itchiness, and if I cough or laugh, my abdomen pain is pretty brutal. So I just can't do any of that. Like last night, I tried to watch an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Huge mistake. Larry was killing me. Taking my daily walk to the store today, just to really give me something to do. Definitely feeling the swelling start to go down, which is quite nice. Feeling still incision site pain. Nothing unmanageable. Slowly just starting to work to get my strength back. I'm finally a little bit less exhausted. I'm only taking 1 nap a day instead of 2 now. Wish I had more to report, but kind of just keeping on keeping on. Today is 1 week since I went in for surgery. Today I'm feeling very good. I'm finally able to walk at kind of a normal pace and with a normal posture, which feels so nice because my back was starting to ache from having to hunch to handle the bloating. It feels awesome to be able to walk normal. This is the day where all the fiber I've been eating is finally coming out. I may have overdone it, so that's been annoying. But other than that, I feel good. I still have a little bit of bruising, it feels like, on my right diaphragm. So that's a little uncomfortable if I breathe super deep, but nothing I can't handle. I forgot to record for a few days, but basically that's just because there was no real change to report. I'm feeling better and better. The bloating is now really completely gone. I'm able to move, not at a pre-surgery level, because I obviously can't do things like run, but I can engage my abs a little bit now, which is so nice. So I can sit up in bed. Feeling pretty good. It's been about 17 days since the surgery. Today, a bunch of the glue on my stitches started coming off. They're healing up pretty well. I finally got to actually see the scars. I'm basically back to all of my day-to-day functions. During the first week or so, there would definitely be brain fog and sleepiness. That has mostly gone away. Every once in a while, I'll get like a 30-minute stretch where I just feel very sluggish. But those bouts are getting further and farther between, so I'm not really too concerned. Right now, I'm exactly 3 weeks to the day post-surgery, and I'm back to essentially all my day-to-day activities other than lifting heavy objects and running. My main takeaway from this process is that it's very doable. It wasn't a breeze, it wasn't a cakewalk, but in terms of difficult things I've done in my life, donating a kidney, not even in the top 10. When I think about the cost to me versus the benefit my ex-kidney is giving my recipient, it's not even close. They get so much more than it cost me. The cost to me is just that I had to be uncomfortable and watching a lot of movies for a couple weeks. The benefit to them is that they get to get off dialysis and live a normal life. That cost absolutely is dwarfed by the benefit. And I didn't even face any financial burden because I signed up with the Donor Shield program, which gave me 3 weeks of compensation for pay I missed due to recovery. If you're considering donating and think you might be a good candidate, I'd really encourage you to reach out to the National Kidney Registry. They'll get you in touch with a transplant center who can make sure you go through all the necessary assessments, and they'll give you all the information you need to know about the surgery so you can make an informed decision. I want to say thank you for even considering donating. Right now, there's 90,000 plus people in the United States on the wait list to receive a kidney. Now, that might sound like a daunting number, but when we put that in perspective, that means only 0.03% of the American population would need to become donors to empty the wait list right now. And I think if people knew the impact they could have by donating a kidney, way more than 0.03% would sign up to donate.
Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful and maybe encouraging to you if you're in the donation process. If you have any questions about donating, you can reach out to the National Kidney Registry. And if you're unable to donate a kidney, but you want to support the cause, you can always donate financially to the National Kidney Foundation. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.